Hey guys, so basically earlier today I just rolled my ankle again, so now my foot was kind of sore, so don't mind if my tumbling's kind of ugly. Yeah.
Happens to the best of us.
This is going to be so terrible. That was terrible.
That wasn't terrible at all.
My feet were so flexed.
You were maybe a little bit
Yeah.
little bit dished out. Did you, if you think about where your arms got to, did they get all the way up to this point here where your body is like flat, or was it kind of here?
Probably here.
This right here is gonna help you lift like your hips.
Okay.
Stopping your arms here is gonna make you feel like feet. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's gonna make you feel like you're gonna have to pick up your shins and your toes a little bit to finish that flip.
Okay.
So I want you to be a little bit bigger here, so that when your hands hit the back part, that your hips have like a path to sort of follow.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. That helps, that helps.
Way better, way better. Did you feel your hips like floating up to your hands there that time?
Yeah.
Rather than having to feel like you have to
Yeah.
put your feet up there?
No, definitely.
So you could squeeze like a little bit tighter through like here.
Okay.
And get those hips up at the same time.
Okay.
So just to dish out at the top a little more.
Yeah, and hips, okay.
Arms, and then crunching my stomach and my hips up.
Yeah, try and think like punch and crunch.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
That you crunch, I need you to make sure that your crunch is you pushing like extra tight through your extended legs.
Okay.
So I want you to make sure that you extend and then extend even more.
Okay.
That'll be when you're lifting your hips and crunching your head, and then you'll just sail on through the middle.
Okay.
So that one's a bit behind the,
Yeah,
chest
that
there.
was kind of bad.
It's okay. Are you seeing the air track in the punch? Are you seeing the end of the air track when your hips are coming up?
No.
That's where we're like losing it a little bit in the middle.
Okay.
Okay, so I want it to be up and in a little bit more.
Okay. At the start.
Well, when you punch, it's good. And then when we like hit our shape, we kind of let your eyes drift, I think, a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
So try and go punch and see the air track, and then squeeze and dish and see like the wall, and then just try and let your body just roll over and spot the floor.
Okay. Better? Saw the air track that time, but I don't think I fixed my arms at all.
Yeah, no, that's getting better. It's getting better for sure. Do you think you pulled your toes up a little
Yes.
bit? Okay, so can you lay down with your toes on the edge of here? Like this.
Oh, on the floor.
Yep, and go arms up. Okay, and now lift your hips, but crunching with your head and shoulders just a little bit too. Okay, so now from here, I want you to just push off your toes. You feel that?
Yes.
It's a lot of work right there, you know what I mean? Did you notice in that first one how you kind of let your chin lift slightly?
Yes.
And you went, oh!
Yeah.
Okay, that's right there is what's making the shape feel a little hard. It's like, have a look at where my head and shoulders are here. When I lift, my hips are kind of like going up here.
Okay.
And so I'm sort of rotating around my head, but if I go like this, you see how like my stomach shifted up there? If this happens when you leave the floor, this will happen coming over the top.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you kind of almost need to be here and then like lift and punch and squeeze and hold. And it's just super awkward to be kind of staying there and not letting anything come out of that. But that should be your layout, okay?
Yeah.
The speed that you have going through your round of handspring will give you enough rotation if you just punch and squeeze that. Does that make sense? Got arms up and let me pick up your feet slightly. See this here?
Yes.
This feels sort of familiar, right? When you're getting to the top. Okay, now when I start picking up your feet, I want you to lift your hips and keep them flat at the same time. You feel that?
Wow!
Oh, that's a lot
so
more.
much better.
That's a lot more like middle of your body rather than feet.
Wow, that was
So when you're lifting off the floor, I need you to be pulling them hips up just like that.
Okay.
Okay?
And then when I first punch, I need to put my arms back and keep my head down, right?
Yeah, if you can try and go like bam and then bam with the hips. Okay, that'll help you just stay a little solid in the middle. Yeah.
I don't know what I just did. I just like that felt kind of weird.
No,
like,
that's
I felt better, but like I felt really unco. Like I like randomly just like.
Right, I know, and this is the weirdest part because it feels like you're not doing the part that's required to flip over.
Yeah.
You're just kind of waiting for it to end.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, I do.
That's a layout. When you get to the top of your layout, it just feels like a lot of waiting. until you land on the floor. Because if you change your shape, then you're gonna break the layout. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense. Like punch and freeze, kind of.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people aren't good at layouts, because like once you get to the top, you almost have to be like, oh, I hope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
definitely.
like that's why the round of handspring has got to be so smooth and solid, so that when you hit the floor, it's just a rotating thing. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
Because if you're trying to change shapes, then you start kind of like breaking that structure you built in the beginning. Yeah.
The start felt really weird. Like my
Okay. Well, then that's probably the only thing that was off. Because again, the layout or the structure's there. You know what I mean? It was tiny bit here, but again, if the round of handspring wasn't that great, that could be the problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it is. So much better. Yeah. Really good.
It's kind of weird because of my ankle, but like that felt so much better.
Yeah.
It feels
No, it's honestly so much flatter, and just you feel like you're in the air,
more
just
suspense, I would
just
definitely
floating,
say. Yeah.
like for longer.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what a layout should feel like. So
Okay,
if you're
that's
feeling
different.
like you're changing your shape in the middle of the air, or if you're like adjusting the flip,
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
you're kind of messing up what the shape is.
Okay, I know that definitely makes sense.
When you punch the floor, you better be in your shape, because if you leave the floor breaking your shape, you're gonna break it again.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to make sure you set it up through the round of handspring and punch the right shape, and then just kind of just wait it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh. Must feel so weird doing it on the comp floor.
Oh yeah.
Like,
It feels like you're up there for ages, because like I said, you can't flip. There's no like flip in the middle. It just kind of just like rolls through the air, and you're just like, well, when does this finish? You know what I mean? Can we? Are you going 2-step right now? Can we power hurdle?
I'll try ya.
Good. There we go.
My
You didn't get your hands up. Would you
ugly,
agree?
yeah,
That's
that was not
okay
good.
though.
Yeah.
You still had the right shape.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. My.
So
I feel like
again, you can be more aggressive going through that round of handspring, and just even there, that was a little bit like this for the punch.
Yeah.
Just try and, as long as that shape's not breaking when you're being super aggressive, just try and be boom, really hard and aggressive with your hands, because that might be what helps you like get up and get your hips up or not.
Yeah.
So especially on the floor, sometimes if you're just that little bit soft with your hands, you'll go up all the same. It'll be just as high, but you will not have that rotation.
Right.
And that's when it will start becoming a pike.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Try and keep it really smooth, and then make the choice to be super aggressive when you punch through your toes, and try and again, like there. You know what I mean? If we're a little bit here, you see how that broke my chest?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to definitely have to do that to pick up my feet.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you to try and as flat as you can behind you with your hands, nose over the hips, and that'll help your hips to come up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that better?
Yeah, that was nice. How'd that feel?
I can do it better.
Yeah, well, I agree. I agree as well. But again, like, this is the first time doing it from a power hurdle?
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now, like, it is a little bit challenging, like, knowing if you're getting there the right way.
Yeah.
But once you get there, the choice that's being made it's just a little bit small, and it's because of how you're getting there. So the more times that you do it, the more times you go through this, the more confident you'll be with being able to get your arms up and just slamming it to the top of that punch. You know what I mean? Because at the moment, if I'm going to be completely honest, you're about halfway through your punch.
Okay.
I want you to be fully committed.
Yeah. Okay. Right behind this line. All right. Better? I know that wasn't better. That was not better.
Still a little bit soft.
No, yeah, that I need to go out more.
Yeah.
My power felt better, but my arms was
Good.
that
So
felt
much
off my
better.
arms.
So much better. More consistent with that punch.
But I
Yeah?
didn't really focus on my hips.
That's okay.
But my arms, I've tried to push.
You got your arms up. The timing was right. But now we want to go arms and hips.
Hips, okay. Oh.
Remember what it was like before when I was picking up your feet and you were doing the hips, okay? You weren't doing the feet, were you?
No.
You were doing the hips.
Yes.
The feet were just extended at the end of your hips, right?
Yeah.
So if you think about it like that, okay, I want like thighs and hips to be doing the layout. And obviously then if you're extending and squeezing your legs, they're just going to be extended at the end of your thighs.
Okay, that makes sense. Oh.
That's like the one thing that a lot of people struggle with when it comes to straightening out legs.
Right.
Is squeezing the thighs.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily straightening the legs.
Yeah.
It's like extending from the like your core type thing. You know what I mean? Everything sort of stems from your core and then it builds outwards from there. So if you got core control, and that also starts with your head as well. If you got good core control and good head control, and you've got really good awareness of how to extend your limbs, then that's what's going to make your tumbling look really long and tall. And
Okay. Cool. I don't know.
Oh, quick.
Yeah, that was quick.
Kind of cut it off a little bit, but at the same time, like, I'm not mad about that timing. I just want you to stand up a little taller.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
The timing is like,
It's
boom,
quick.
quick, but I want it to be boom, and like up there a little bit more.
No, differently.
Okay?
Okay.
Try and be pushing, and leave your arms like here, so that when you punch, there's like a smaller space for you to lift them up to the top. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think right now we might be pushing and then like punching a little bit here maybe. So try and like keep those hands up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just so they're a little faster getting over.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Better?
Yeah.
This-
So you notice how you took your time with that one?
Yeah,
Going
my arms are better, but I still don't think my hips are good.
maybe a tiny bit of this, but
Yeah.
again, not really noticeable to most people. And
Okay.
it's just because like today you felt what it should be.
Definitely.
And now you can kind of feel yourself just like, there is that small little dip in my hips, you know what I mean? So again, like this is why when you're doing like dish, super important to focus on like really holding with your hips and your stomach, because that's going to be your entire layout like here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rather than just like thinking about your feet.
Mhm.
When you're doing shapes and stuff, more, I want you to think more about like your hips and your legs and
Okay.
your stomach more than like your feet and your legs.
Yeah,
okay? I said legs twice, but I meant
Hips.
meaning hips. Okay.